Hey everyone, hello everyone. By your numerous requests, today we will share some amazing DIY projects and hacks for summer fishing.
Alright, just as you wanted. Let's get started.
We want to tell you how to make a wonderful fishing rod with a bite indicator. It's really easy to make. First of all, we need to find a branch or a stick to secure it on the shore. Dima took a machete and is going to cut down a suitable branch now.
We're cutting off about half a meter from our stick. We need to sharpen one end. For this fishing rod, we need a stick that we will stick into the ground, a regular reel from a fishing rod, and a flag from an ice fishing tip-up.
We have fishing line with a diameter of 0.55 wound on the reel. You can catch both predatory and white fish with this fishing rod. Our fishing rod will be secured using regular zip ties. You can use wire, tape, or duct tape, right?
Yes. And we tighten it.
The simplest fishing rod is made in just a few seconds.
So, we've assembled our fishing rod, secured the reel, and inserted the flag. Here we have a load, a rig with a hook. And we just take it and cast it out. So, we've cast it out. Now our reel is freely releasing the line. We secure our flag on the reel, and in case of a bite, the flag will pop up when the fish pulls on our bait.
And this way, we'll be able to see our bite from a distance.
Yeah, Dima, just like in an ice fishing tip-up.
It's a great summer tip-up that can be made in just a few minutes. I want to tell you that it's very effective. This year we're going to fish for those fish. Yeah, we need to catch carp and crucian carp.
And in fact, it's easy to display it like this. You can also hang bells. It will be really cool for the eyes.
We often catch large fish in the current, and any floats are washed away. No matter what float you take, it always gets tilted and lays down. Guys, now we're going to show you how to quickly and easily make a float for the current that won't get swept away. We're back in our workshop. To make such a float, we will need a piece of small polystyrene and kind of marker. We're drawing an arbitrary shape for our float. So, there should be some part here with a protrusion like this. Here at the top, there's a little knob. Round. And the protrusion here, which should end half in the hand. Of course, you need to carefully cut all of this out using a utility knife. So we've approximately shaped the float. Now we take some sandpaper and slowly... Be careful guys, we're sanding it down so that all the edges are rounded. We ended up with this kind of blank. Now we need to make a hole at the bottom, where I marked, so that it goes through the entire body of our future float. Carefully. Guys, we're making a hole in the body of the float. So we have the base and the antennas ready. An ordinary skewer will serve, a skewer for cooking children, bamboo, etc. Now the most important task is to pass the skewer through our body so that it remains intact. For this, guys, we actually drilled it out. If we hadn't drilled it out, the foam would have burst. Length. The float is about 20 centimeters long, and you can cut off any excess part using a utility knife. Next, for the base of our keel, we take a piece of heat shrink tubing or a straw, and we need to position it like this. So here we're making another small hole. And we insert heat shrink tubing here. We'll draw the immersion stripes on it using a regular permanent marker. Here, everyone does it to their own taste. I'll draw some stripes that will indicate the immersion levels on the floats. Here's the float that came out. For the tip, we can make a little piece either from a chunk of polystyrene or use a ready-made winter float, which easily fits onto our tip. We thread the line through the body of the float. A fishing line. Then we put it into our heat shrink tubing. And the heat shrink tubing, we thread it onto the body. Guys, its advantage is that it doesn't get swept away by the current at all. Thanks to its flat shape, it always stays in place. The one under your control made a throw. And the float will always stay in one place, even in strong currents. As we can see, the float always maintains the same position against the current along our fishing line, guys. And even in strong currents, it doesn't tilt or get swept away. It stands like a boat.
For its coloring, we named him Seryoga Zebra.
As you understand, this is really a homemade product that will come in handy in the arsenal of any fisherman. I want to remind you that I choose most of the products using the e-catalog. Friends, it's very simple. We're moving to the e-catalog, selecting the section. We need, in this case, tourism and fishing, and we filter by parameters where we can choose all the options we need. Type of product, let's say, the spool size if it's for a reel, and the weight of the reel, anything. We choose the reel that we like. For example, here's a good reel, it's the Shimano Ultegra. Let's take a look at it. Photo. We look at the description, reviews, and choose an online store, of course, with the lowest price. What I like the most is comparing products. Let's choose another reel now. Here, for example, we can also look at this Daiwa, it's also 5,000. And guys, let's compare it with our Shimano. We're looking at how their prices differ. The number of bearings differs. The weight of the reel also differs, as well as the gear ratio. This way, you can choose absolutely any product, guys, that you want to compare with each other. I believe the e-catalog is a truly unique tool for selection. Good products, guys, the ones you really need. Once again, I say, the link to the e-catalog will be in the description below this video. Go ahead, take a look, I assure you. You'll like it.
We always use feeders for catching carp or crucian carp. And now we will tell you in detail how to make it.
As you understood, I cut a small piece, 7 centimeters long from this tube. And now, using the same screwdriver, I'm just going to drill some small holes here so that the bait can penetrate better. Well, something like this is what we have. So, this is what the feeder turned out like. The pieces that are left here can be removed with your fingers. They won't really bother us at all. But if you want, we can just take all of this and sand it down with some sandpaper. On both sides. The feeder will turn out matte. The feeder we ended up with. And now we are going to make it, guys, with front loading. For this, we take a regular 12-gram lead weight. We take out the sleeve from it. We don't need the sleeve in this case. And we will also need fishing line. In this case, I will be using regular clear fishing line with a diameter of 0.55, as thick as possible. And we tie one free end to one side of our feeder. And we will tie the other end on the opposite side so we end up with a feeder with front loading. And on top, guys, we're just making the same kind of loop without weights, simply adding a regular large swivel to it.
As you can see, it's all very easy and simple, and all that's left is to cast it out. As you can see, this feeder can be easily cast with any bottom rod, and this distance will be enough for catching crucian carp or carp. We all love catching crucian carp, but for that we need a super sensitive float. Now we will tell you how to make it.
The float is made very simply and shows even the slightest bite. Crucian carp. In just a few minutes. To indeed make the most sensitive float, we will need winter floats. And toothpicks by themselves. Floats for winter fishing are very sensitive and very light. You all know this. Well, the toothpicks will serve as the antenna for our float. Right now we're going to make a few floats and toothpicks. First of all, we need to choose the floats that we want, so that they are bright. I'll take these two. This one is bright orange, with white at the bottom and red at the top. I think it's a strong contrast too. We take a toothpick and simply thread it through there. We now have our float ready. 2 perfect bases. Now we take a utility knife and cut at the bottom. Float this part, which is sharp, we make the antenna straight. Here are the floats. Now we take 2 small heat shrink tubes that will easily fit over the body of our float. The antennas of the floats. I won't cut them, let them stay sharp, and I'll just lightly paint them black. This float does not require any specific coloring of the antenna in different colors, because at the slightest bite it will sink immediately. It's very light and very sensitive. The floats for catching crucian carp are completely ready. Our mini float is ready, and we put it on the heat shrink tube.
The float is very sensitive and it will be a lot of fun to catch fish like that, like crucian carp, roach, and bleak. And all we have to do is cast it out. Everything is set, bait is on, let's go. As you can see, it's all very simple and you'll enjoy the bites.
You often ask in the comments how to repair a fishing rod. Once we told you about it. In one of the DIY compilations, the link to which will be in the description, and there will be a hint, guys, on how to set up a pole fishing rod. Here's the cork in case it came off. Now we will show you how to fix a guide or repair the handle of the reel, which often happens. It breaks. This fishing rod, this feeder rod, friends, is over 15 years old. This is one of the first feeder rods I ever bought. And it just so happened that on one of my first fishing trips, the handle simply broke off. I was just reeling it in, got caught, put in more effort, and the handle came off. I didn't know how to attach it, so I tried using braided line and super glue. As you can see, it's just wrapped with braided line and glued all over with super glue, and it's still holding up to this day. We found another broken rod where the guide just keeps coming off, guys. On this rod, the guide just keeps coming off and spinning. We take regular braided line and carefully wrap it around our guide. Around the guide, through the guide, like this. One drop of glue, guys, is enough in most cases because you don't need much. The line absorbs everything all around. As you can see, back in my childhood, I did a quick reinforcement, as I call it, and it holds up really well. Moreover, our fence became like plastic, friends. It was covered with super glue and IT. Not soft, just like plastic. So who needs to glue an old fishing rod? So as not to throw it away, friends. In this way, you can save a lot and glue everything very reliably. So friends, that's how this collection of DIYs turned out. We plan to shoot more than one video on the topic of DIYs and life hacks.
And not just one video on this homemade feeder rod. We really liked it and we have plans.
I've had a lot of fishing trips with it. Yes. Write in the comments what else you would like to see in life hacks for DIYs for predatory fish or for carp and crucian carp. And also, guys, write your DIY ideas in the comments. We will definitely bring something to the next workshop.
We hope you all enjoyed it and learned something. Bye all.